Welcome to the Irish Research Council Laureate Awards Programme webinar. This webinar will consist of a short PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover. You may use the dashboard facility to submit questions. Please note that these questions will not be answered in live time. These questions will feed into the FAQ document, which will be published as soon as possible on the Irish Research Council website. In addition, the webinar and the slides will be made available on the IRC website. Just some background to the Irish Research Council Laureate Awards Programme. There is consensus that there is a significant gap in Ireland's research and innovation framework, namely opportunities for exceptional researchers to conduct frontier basic research across all disciplines beyond postdoctoral level. Innovation 2020, Ireland's strategy for research and development, affirms the existence of this gap in the Irish research landscape and recommended the establishment of a frontier research funding programme to be administered by the Irish Research Council. Funding to launch the first iteration of the programme was made available by the Minister for Education and Skills under the 2017 budget. The Laureate Awards Programme is specifically constructed as a stepping stone for researchers to develop individual track record and obtain funding in their own name in advance of an application to the European Research Council. It is important to note that the Laureate Awards Programme is not intended to be a replacement programme for the European Research Council at national level. Innovation 2020 defines frontier research as research that is at and beyond the frontiers of current understanding. It is intrinsically risky and is characterised by the absence of disciplinary boundaries, and this is the definition we'll be using for the Laureate Awards Programme. The aims of the Laureate Awards Programme are as follows: to enhance frontier basic research in Irish research performing organisations across all disciplines, to support exceptional researchers to develop their track record appropriate to their discipline and career stage, to build the international competitiveness of the awardees and Ireland as a whole, to leverage greater success for the Irish research system in European Research Council awards, and to retain excellent researchers in the Irish system and to catalyse opportunities for talented researchers working outside of Ireland to relocate to Ireland. As is explicitly stated in the call, a key objective of the programme is to support the development of track record to enable laureates to be competitive for European Research Council grants. For the 2017 Laureate Awards Programme, the Council intends to make in the region of 24 awards valued between €400,000 and €600,000 in the first round. The funding mentioned in the press release reflects the funding available in the 2017 budget and does not reflect the totality of funding projected in subsequent years. Who can apply? Researchers of any nationality based in Ireland or anywhere in the world may apply. Awards are portable within host institutions within the Republic of Ireland. Successful applicants must submit an application to the European Research Council, ideally prior to the end of the award, but no later than within 1 year of the end date or the next available ERC call deadline, where this does not occur within 1 year of the end of the Laureate Award. Should the Laureate awardee not submit an application to the European Research Council within the expected time frame, the awardee will not be eligible to apply for further Council PI-led programmes. There are two types of award available for the Laureate Awards Programme 2017-18. The Starting Laureate Award, and the aim is to enable excellent early career researchers to transition to principal investigator status. The Consolidated Laureate Award, and the aim is to enable excellent mid-career researchers to consolidate their own independent research programme or team. The Council made a decision to prioritise starting consolidated grants in this first iteration. In the context of further funding being secured from the Department to grow the programme as intended, we will be prioritising an advanced laureate award in the next iteration. This will be available to researchers from the mid-career stage onwards. The criteria for the 2017 call is closely related to the equivalent starting consolidated grants in the European Research Council. However, Council recognised that there is considerable pent-up demand for this form of funding in Ireland due to the dearth of opportunities over recent years, and thus the PhD criteria for the Laureate programme allow for researchers with a longer post-PhD period to apply than is the case for the European Research Council. The call also makes provision for career breaks in line with good practice, which, where eligible, can extend the post-PhD period limit allowed. For starting Laureate awards, applicants should be between 3 and 8 years post-PhD prior to the 1st of January 2018, and for consolidator, applicants should be between 8 and 15 years post-PhD prior to the 1st of January 2018. The duration of the awards is up to 4 years. For the starting Laureate awards, the value is a maximum of €400,000, inclusive of overheads 25%, and for the Consolidator award, the value is a maximum of €600,000, inclusive of overheads as well at 25%. And it covers all disciplines. The eligibility criteria as set out in section 3.1 of the Terms and Conditions covers PhD eligibility, eligible career breaks, track record, employment status, funding history and resubmissions. In order to be eligible to apply for a starting laureate or consolidated laureate award, applicants must have been awarded his or her first PhD or equivalent doctorate degree. As part of the application process, applicants will be required to upload a copy of the degree certificate in order to confirm the date of the award of the PhD. In order to substantiate the equivalence of their overall training to a PhD, medical doctors need to provide certificates of both a medical doctorate degree and a PhD, or proof of an appointment that requires doctoral equivalence, such as postdoctoral fellowship and information on their research experience, including peer-reviewed publications. Further information on this can be found in Appendix 5 of the Terms and Conditions. Track record. Applicants should be able to demonstrate a promising track record of early achievements appropriate to the research field and career stage, such as, but not limited to, publications, research monographs, granted patents, invited presentations, and other forms of peer-reviewed recognition of achievement. Employment status. For the Laureate Award Programme, applicants must either hold an academic post, permanent or a contract that covers the duration of the award in the proposed host institution, or be an individual who, upon receipt of a Laureate Award, will be conferred by the proposed host institution with a contract of employment of sufficient duration to cover the term of the award. The contract of employment must enable the laureate to independently direct the research project and provide for the necessary accommodation and supporting infrastructure. By providing the letter of support, the proposed host institution confirms that the applicant is either a member of the academic staff or will be conferred with such status as defined if the application is successful. Funding history. For the starting Laureate Award, applicants cannot have held or currently hold an ERC starting consolidator or advanced grant. For the Consolidator Laureate Award, applicants cannot have held or hold an ERC consolidator or advanced grant. Applicants holding an ERC starting grant which finishes within 12 months of the Laureate Awards Programme call deadline, that is the 29th of June 2017, may apply for a Consolidator Laureate Award. It is not intended that successful applicants will concurrently hold an ERC starting grant and a Consolidator Laureate Award. However, the Council will allow a maximum period of overlap of 3 months from the start date of the Laureate Award to enable successful applicants to finish out their ERC starting grant obligations. Applicants may have pending ERC starting or consolidation applications at the same time of an application for a Laureate Award. Where an applicant for a Laureate Award secures an ERC award, either during the application process or the conditional offer phase, the Laureate application or award will be terminated. In these circumstances, Laureate applicants are required to inform the Council immediately of the ERC award. Applicants may apply for each of the Laureate awards a maximum of twice. Applicants should carefully and objectively evaluate their track record against the criteria set out in the Terms and Conditions in order to ascertain if they are competitive at the time of application for this programme before deciding on whether to apply. As mentioned, applicants may extend the period of eligibility in the following properly documented circumstances, provided the grounds for the extension started before the call deadline. Eligible career breaks include the following: maternity leave, paternity leave, adoptive leave, parental leave, long-term illness leave, carers leave, military service and clinical qualifications. Career breaks explained by working out of academia or being unemployed for some time will not be considered as a valid reason to extend the eligibility window. Examples of other ineligible career breaks include taking time out to travel or taking time out to conclude the bar exams. No allowances will be made for part-time working. 2 years of half-time working will count as 2 full-time years. If an applicant wishes to extend the period of eligibility, they must produce documentary evidence from the HR office of their employer at the time of the eligible breaks. For maternity leave, the effective elapsed time since the award of the first PhD will be considered reduced by 18 months, or if longer, by the documented amount of leave taken for each child after the first PhD award. The effective elapsed time since the award of the first PhD will be considered reduced by the documented amount of paternity leave actually taken for each child born after the first PhD award. For adoptive leave, the effective elapsed time since the award of the first PhD will be considered reduced by 18 months, or if longer, by the documented amount of leave taken for each child after the first PhD award. An applicant should consult section 3.1, part 2 of the Terms and Conditions for further information on the time allowed for the other eligible career breaks. As stated, the Start and Laureate Awards are valued up to €400,000, including overheads at 25%, and the Consolidated Laureate Awards are valued up to €600,000, also with overheads at 25%. All costs sought must be detailed and fully justified. Applicants need to provide clear and convincing justification of their costings and should think carefully about the time and resources required to complete the research successfully within the specified period. For principal investigators, there are two types of eligible costs available with the Laureate Award. It is important to note that these two categories are mutually exclusive and both types of costs cannot be sought within the same application. Costs may be requested to facilitate the reallocation of existing commitments of the laureate, for example teaching, in order to allow them to devote appropriate time and effort as principal investigator to successfully complete the Laureate Award. Up to €46,401 per annum can be charged to the project to facilitate the laureate's participation. If the existing academic commitments of the laureate are fully replaced, the full amount can be charged to the project and the funding will be used to recruit one whole-time person, for example a postdoctoral fellow, to discharge the laureate's commitments. And as part of the reporting requirements, the laureate will be required to report on how the replacement costs have been allocated. Where hosting of the laureate gives rise to a new research contract of employment, up to 50% of the laureate's employment costs may be charged to the award for the duration of the award. If a contribution to the laureate's employment costs is being requested, the host institution must guarantee the funded balance of the employment costs for the duration of the award. For PhD students and research master students, a stipend of €6,000 plus fees of up to €5,750 can be requested, and the stipends can be supplemented from other funding sources. For postdoctoral fellows and research assistants, applicants can use the Irish Universities Association Researcher Salary Scale, and as part of this, the point in the scale should be determined by qualifications and experience, and the rationale for selecting this point should be explained in the budget justification. The requested salary must include provisions for PRSI and employment pension contribution. Other personnel costs such as technicians, digital archivists, etc. may also be considered. These costs must be explicitly justified, and institutional salary scales can be used for this category. As part of the award acceptance process, the Research Office must provide documentary evidence of the salary scale used. The recruitment of staff, research assistants, postdoctoral researchers must be done openly and through public advertisement. Staff must be recruited for the specific project and awarded topic only. Eligible research expenses include travel costs, materials and consumables, publication costs, dissemination and knowledge exchange costs, access to research infrastructure, relocation expenses, overheads and equipment. All research expenses must be strongly justified. In relation to relocation expenses, these expenses only apply to applicants' relocation to Ireland and can only be sought in year one of the award. Should a particular expense be insufficiently justified within an otherwise successful application, the Council reserves the right to remove or amend this particular expense item at award offer stage. A full application will be submitted using the Irish Research Council online submission system by the applicant on or before 4 p.m. Thursday, the 29th of June 2017. Applicants are strongly advised to submit their applications well in advance of the deadline. Intending applicants who do not already have a user profile will need to create one before submitting an application. Please refer to the guide for applicants for a step-by-step guide to submission an application via the online submission system. When preparing your application, please bear the following points in mind. In relation to the sex-gender dimension, the Council was the first research funding agency in Ireland to integrate requirements on the sex-gender dimension into applications to its funding programmes. Since 2014, applicants for awards under the Council's core programmes have been required to indicate if there is a sex-gender dimension to the research being proposed and how such dimensions will be appropriately addressed in the conduct of the research. Applicants who submit that there is no sex-gender dimension are required to explain why not. And applicants should consult Appendix 1 of the Terms and Conditions for further information. The sex-gender dimension questions are to be completed via the online system. Reflecting the move towards open science in Horizon 2020, the Council is asking applicants to the Laureate Awards Programme to address data management needs of their project. As part of the application, applicants will furnish an outline data management plan, and if successful, a detailed data management plan will be submitted to the Council within 6 months of the project commencement date. If a data management plan is not required, applicants must justify why this is so. A list of resources about data management plans is provided in Appendix 2 of the Terms and Conditions. Again, reflecting developments in Horizon 2020 and reflecting feedback from international assessors for previous Council PI-led awards, The Council is asking applicants to complete an ethics self-assessment table as part of their application. If an applicant answers yes to any of the questions in the self-assessment table, they are required to provide a statement on the ethical issues to be addressed. It is important to note that written evidence of ethical approval will be required within 6 months of the project commencement date. Written evidence of ethical approval is not required at the application stage. Applicants are advised to consult their Horizon 2020 guidance document, How to Complete Your Ethics Self-Assessment. The ethics self-assessment table is completed via the online system. For the Laureate Awards programme, 2 letters of support are required. A letter of support from the heads of school or faculty in which the applicant is or will be based. Please use the template provided. A letter of support from the proposed host institution, signed by the Vice President or Dean for Research. Authorised signatures or PP signatures will not be accepted. Again, please use the template provided. Applications not accompanied by completed and signed letters of endorsement will be deemed ineligible and will not go forward for assessment. Please note that host institutions will not be required to endorse applications via the online system. However, a list of applications from each institution will be available in the Research Officers portal on the online system when the deadline passes. This is for information purposes only. For the Laureate Awards programme, applicants can nominate up to 5 international academics or renowned experts in their discipline to remotely peer review their proposal. The role of the peer reviewer is to provide expert academic review of proposals, not to provide personal testimonies. A list of potential conflicts of interest can be found in section 4.2.5 of the Terms and Conditions, and applicants are advised to read this section carefully. Council reserves the right to appoint a peer reviewer which is not a nominated peer reviewer of the applicant. In addition, applicants can also specify up to 3 individuals who they wish to exclude as an international peer reviewer in the evaluation of the proposal. The persons identified will be excluded from the evaluation of the proposal concerned as long as it does not compromise the Council's ability to have the proposal evaluated in line with the evaluation process as set out in the Terms and Conditions. A complete proposal will comprise the following documents to be uploaded via the online submission system: an extended synopsis, 5 pages maximum; a CV, 2 pages maximum; track record, 2 pages maximum; data management plan, 2 pages maximum; statement on ethical issues to be addressed, 2 pages maximum; 2 letters of support from the host institution, including the letter from the head of school; PhD certificate and supporting documentation, if applicable; detailed research proposal, 15 pages maximum. Please note that references do not count towards the page limit for the extended synopsis and the detailed research proposal. All documents must be uploaded in PDF. The system will not accept Word documents. For the CV, track record, data management plan, ethical issues documents, the system will not accept documents that exceed the stated page limit of 2 pages. Please consult section 4.2.4 of the Terms and Conditions for detailed information on the application documents. Once the application deadline has passed, the Council Executive will undertake the following eligibility checks: PhD eligibility including PhD equivalents, requests to take account of career breaks, funding awards, submission of all required elements of the proposal and completeness of the same, and supporting documentation as appropriate. For the Laureate Awards programme, the Council is adopting a 2-step evaluation process to include an interview at step 2. All applications to the programme will be evaluated by an international panel supported by remote peer reviewers across 3 panel domains: humanities and social sciences, life sciences, physical sciences, and engineering. In summary, the evaluation process will be implemented as follows. At step 1, the extended synopsis, the track record, and CV of all applications will be evaluated by the relevant domain panel as selected by the applicant, supported by remote peer reviewers. Based on the outcome of the evaluation and indicative budgetary parameters, a cohort of applications rated A will be retained for step 2. For applications retained for step 2, the full proposal, extended synopsis, detailed proposal, track record, and CV will be reviewed by the relevant domain panel supported by remote peer reviewers. Retained applicants will be required to attend an interview in Dublin to present your project to the domain panel and answer questions. Interviews will be 30 minutes in duration, comprising 5 to 10 minutes of a presentation by the applicant, followed by a question and answer session with the panel. Candidates based outside of Ireland may elect to have the interview with the domain panel conducted via video conferencing. In view of the confidentiality of the evaluation process, applicants who participate in the step 2 interview are advised not to share the identity of panel members until their names have been published on the Irish Research Council website. At the end of each step, each domain panel will rank its applications on the basis of the panel's overall judgment on their strengths and weaknesses, taking into account the marks each application has received. At the end of step 1, applicants will be notified that their application has been categorised as one of the following: A rating, meaning that the proposal is of excellent quality and will pass to step 2 of the evaluation process. B rating, meaning the proposal is of high quality but not sufficient to pass to step 2 of the evaluation process. Applicants may apply for the same award on one subsequent occasion. C rating, meaning the proposal is not of sufficient quality to pass to step 2 of the evaluation. Applicants may apply for the same award on one subsequent occasion. At the end of step 2, applicants will be notified that their application has been categorised as either A rating, the proposal fully meets the excellence criterion and is recommended for funding subject to available budget. B rating, the proposal meets some but not all elements of the excellence criterion and will not be funded. Applicants may apply for the same award on one subsequent occasion. The evaluation criteria is excellence. This is the sole criterion and it will be applied to both the research project and the applicant. Applicants will receive a feedback report comprising a panel consensus statement and individual reports. Some key points to note in relation to the online submission. Please consult the guide for applicants for practical information in creation and submitting an application. The Council strongly encourages the submission of all applications well in advance of the closing date of the competition, as on the day that the call closes, there will be heavy traffic on the server, which may slow down the submission of your application. Applicants should not log into their profile or application form in different browsers at the same time. This may cause the system to invalidate your login session, and any information you have entered will be lost. If you enter information and do not click the Save button before navigating away from the page, this information will be lost. Please note that no alterations can be made to an application once it has been submitted. It is therefore important that you check and recheck the application form until you are fully satisfied with all sections before clicking Submit Application. To complete the application form online, applicants will need to complete the following tabs: Project Overview, Research Funding and Commitments, Project Details, the Ethical and Sex Gender Statements, Indicative Budget, Uploads, which are the application documents, and the applicant declaration. The important documents. The terms and conditions. Applicants must read the terms and conditions before submitting an application. The Irish Research Council Laureate Awards Programme is governed by the terms and conditions and the award acceptance form. The guide for applicants provides practical information to potential applicants in creating and submitting an application to the programme. FAQs should be submitted as a batch to laureate@research.ie by the designated research officer. In the interest of fairness and transparency, the Council Executive will not discuss queries over the phone or enter into individual correspondence with applicants. The FAQ deadline is Friday the 2nd of June 2017, and the last FAQ document will be posted the following week. Queries submitted after this deadline will not be addressed. Important deadlines to remember. The FAQ deadline again, Friday the 2nd of June 2017. The applicant deadline is 4 p.m. Thursday the 29th of June 2017. Outcome from step 1 is in quarter 4 of 2017. Panel interviews will take place in quarter 1 2018. The outcome of step 2 also in quarter 1 of 2018. And project award commencement date by the 31st of May 2018. All questions submitted today via the webinar will be answered in the FAQ. Thank you for listening and best of luck with your application.